Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin. I'm the author of the new book, Heal Yourself, A Return to Wholeness, the Integration of Body, Mind, Soul, and Spirit. I'm also the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, Twin Flame Romance, Life, Path, and Purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. This is the weekly Twin Flame Tarot reading, messages for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and the couple. Today is Monday, March 29th, 2021. How are you doing, Twin Flame? We just had that full moon in Libra on Sunday, March 28th, and Mercury is in Pisces next to Neptune, conjunct Neptune, so communication might be a little indirect this week until the end of the week. Per usual, I like to say a prayer over the cards. Dear God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, Archangels, Angels of God, Twin Flames, Guardian Angels, let this reading be of the highest light and love of God the Father. Let it bring light, love, and truth to everyone involved. Archangel Michael, please stand guard, casting away any lower energies with your sword of light. Romance Angels and Twin Flame Angels, please help us to understand the energies for this week for Twin Flames in this collective. Okay, we are going to start with the Divine Feminine. So Divine Feminine's Guardian Angels, please help us to know what Divine Feminines need to know to learn and to grow for this week. We are going to get an oracle card from the Angel Therapy deck as well for Divine Feminines first. We're going to focus on Divine Feminines, the goddesses. So Divine Feminines, what are you learning this week? And we are going to take a World of Answers oracle card here. And this is going to help confirm. Usually it just helps to enhance the other two cards in the read. So for Divine Feminines for this week. Next, we're gonna do for Divine Masculines. What are Divine Masculines learning this week starting Monday, March 29th, and it's 2021. And believe it or not, this weekend we are going to be in April, or before the weekend really, but we are coming into April, believe it or not. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. April already, oh my goodness. And here we go with the Angel Therapy deck. I love springtime, spring and summer, two favorite seasons for sure. We're going to get the World of Answers oracle here for Divine Masculine. Let's see what comes out. What comes out for DM? Next, we are moving to the Twin Flame couple. Here we go. Hopefully the energies are good for the Twin Flame couple this week. We've seen something building, haven't we? We have certainly seen something building to a culmination in this collective. I feel like things are building to something good this week for the Twin Flame union, for the Twin Flame couple. And we're gonna pick lastly from the World of Answers for the Twin Flame couple as well. And let's get a romance energy card. This is the romance energy for Twin Flames as a couple for this week. Perfect. Next, we're going to get a messages of love, and this usually will enhance or slightly change the meaning of the romance energy for this week. I feel like love is in the air. Spring is in the air. I feel like love is in the air, but we shall see. Okay, this is Hidden Truth Oracle. Messages from Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine from what is in Divine, whoops. That flipped out. We'll take it. We'll take the flip out cards. And the next one, messages from Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. And I saw the card too. It's a good one. It is a good one. Okay, let's start with Divine Feminines. I like this. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it for divine feminines. Look, Ace of Earth, new opportunity, fresh start. Ace of Pentacles is a great one. Ace of Earth is a great one. New opportunity with your twin flame. New beginning, new opportunity, a new offer. This is the beginning for a lot of you, or the new beginning for a lot of you in this twin flame journey. Like I said, I feel it in spring. I feel it in spring. I'm feeling it in the spring. Feeling it for many of you. And then we get emotional sensitivity and nurturing romance. Now, the nurturing romance and emotional sensitivity, I feel that things are needing to be said. And I said this last week too. So if you are unclear, go back to last week's reading and I'll put the link up here, as well as the Divine Masculines read and maybe even the Divine Feminine. Well, the Divine Feminines read not for this past week, but perhaps the week before. Emotional sensitivity and nurturing romance. So what does nurturing romance mean from the Oracle deck that my sister Annette and I did? Nurturing romance does indicate doing something to grow the romance, to nurture the romance. And I feel the emotional sensitivity is based on the conversations that you will be having with your divine masculine twin flame, divine feminines, in order to nurture and feed this romance, feed this connection so that it can be nurtured and grow. And be easy with yourself if you get a little emotional over this, because it is such an intense connection. There is so much going on here on so many levels, even levels you don't even know about yet, especially if you're newer on the journey, that emotional sensitivity really is a part of this, because you're becoming so raw, so vulnerable. You see your twin soul, your twin sees your soul. It's such an incredibly emotional, vulnerable connection. Go easy on yourself if you're feeling really vulnerable, if you're feeling very sensitive emotionally. But if you are feeling, divine feminines, here's the message. If you're feeling very, very sensitive emotionally, don't pull away from your twin. That is the last thing you want to do. You want to stay in that emotional vulnerability and start to nurture this romance. So if the conversations are starting to happen, stay with it, stick with it. Don't back down just because maybe your DM isn't saying the words that you want to hear and that's making you feel emotionally vulnerable. I would say stick with it. Stick with the conversations, stick with the meetings if they want to meet, but stay in a place of emotional vulnerability, because I feel like you need to keep those walls down and do not put those walls back up. And I think that's the more global message for divine feminines with this newer, fresher start here. Yeah, like honestly, DM is so ready to do this, and I think we got this. I want to say we got this last week for DM. We either got the 10 of water or the 2 of water for DMs, but we got one of those cards. 10 of water, coming together with trustworthy relationships, happy times, wanting to integrate families, maybe have kids with you, divine feminines, but DMs are ready for this trustworthy relationship. 10 of Cups, I mean, 10 of Cups is a really, really happy card about relationships, family, emotional connections, strong emotional connections, and really good emotional connections. Like, I love it. I love it so much. I like, see, and the thing is, they want this so badly. Divine masculines who are in this collective, who are ready for this, ready to nurture the romance like divine feminines, they're really, really ready for this. And when I got the God box and the do more research, and at first it kind of perplexed me when I saw these two cards. This is really about trusting in God and the fact that this is a divine connection. And I believe that that's what this is. The do more research is on the divine connection for divine masculines. This is on like Why do I feel so connected to this person? If they're not aware of twin flames yet, of the idea of twin flames yet. But I think that divine masculines need to do more research on it, really understand fully what a soul connection is, what it means, and they need to trust in God, because the God box, the concept of the God box, is which I have used, and it's a great tool. It's just like, it's like physically writing something on paper and then turning it over to God. And you do this in a box, like an old shoe box or an old Kleenex box or something like that. But I feel like it's something that you physically are able to do, to just like give your worries and cares to God. And I feel like the do more research is more on like, let's research divine masculines a little bit more about this soul connection so you can fully understand it. Because we see divine masculines that you want your divine feminine, you want the trustworthy relationships, you want the family life with your divine feminines, but some of you are not fully grasping the fact that this is such a sacred connection, that it goes well beyond the emotional connection. It goes well beyond the day-to-day of being in a relationship and having a family together. It goes well beyond that. It's kind of like this divine duty, and D-U-T-Y, divine duty that we all have to do as we embark upon this sacred connection. So yeah, and I feel, yeah, there's something, gosh, and this is, okay, so this is kind of appropriate for the video series that I'm going to actually do on Thursday in removing obstacles. And I feel, remember in the community forum this past weekend, I asked if any of you out there had a twin flame who, or yourself, who was addicted to something. Now, it could be addictions to food, drugs, sex, alcohol, porn, gaming, whatever. But I feel like there is a large portion of divine masculines and some divine feminines who have been caught up in addictions. And this is really funny that these cards came out the way they came out, because I feel like the page is being turned, and it's not going to be easy, but for many of you who have been caught up in addictive patterns, and for divine masculines that have been caught up in addictions, I feel like the page is finally being turned, but you cannot do it alone. So the first two cards I want to say that came up are the 10 of Air and Heal Away Addictions. Now, the 10 of Air is about overcoming addictions. It's about overcoming something very, very, very difficult. It could be, 10 of Air could be mental illness. It could be like depression, like a deep, dark depression. It could be anxiety, but a lot of times it does mean addictions. And since we have Heal Away Addictions here, I mean, this is like the perfect example of letting go of those addictions. But the card that came out with it is don't do it alone. Do not do it alone. And so what does that tell me? That tells me that there are 12-step groups. There's detox, there's rehab. There are psychologists that are specialists in addiction and recovery. And like I said, I'm gonna cover this. I was gonna cover it the next two weeks on Thursdays. I'm actually gonna cover it the next 3 weeks, over the next 3 Thursdays, because I feel like it's such an important topic that we both understand. Not only divine feminines, but divine masculines. Not only if your divine masculine is an addiction over something, but also the codependent behavior that comes as a result of being with someone who has these addictive patterns. And I wrote a book on it called Help, I Think My Loved One is an Alcoholic. I've been in this for a long time, so I really know how to talk about it and help others understand it better. However, I feel that if it is divine masculine that has been infused in some sort of addiction, they're getting over it. And if it's divine feminines who have been infused in some sort of addiction, it's time to get over it as well. But you can't do it alone. You need to not isolate yourself. You need to reach out to those people who can help you. If there's one thing that I can say today about addiction and recovery, is that you cannot do it alone. Because addiction is a very lonely disease. We're gonna call it a disease for now. I know that's debatable for some people, but addiction is a very lonely disease, and it tends towards self-isolation. And what you need to heal is the opposite of self-isolation. So that is the one major thing that is coming out of this. So I really feel like for those twin flames that have been caught up in addictions, the page is turning. It's time to turn the page, okay? The romance card is amazing. We have the wedding card. Twin flames are getting married. You guys are gonna get married to your twin flame. If you are watching this video, you are getting married to your twin flame. But it says, wait, the timing is not quite right. So I know some of you have been looking at the chronological clock and you're like, the chronological clock is ticking. My biological clock is ticking. I need to be married to my twin flame. And what I want to say to you through the angelic messages is there's no need to rush this. Divine timing, divine timing, divine timing. Some of you have been separated from your twin flame divine masculine for a long time. Some of you shorter time, but we're not rushing through this process. But this is really healing in a way, just to know that the wedding is coming, the marriage is coming, that if you are watching this, if you are tuned into this reading, there's a very good chance that you and your twin flame will be married. Cool, I love it. Okay, let's go to the messages. I want a qualifier for this one. I really want a qualifier for this one. All right, angels, divine masculines, can you please help me with this one? Because I don't understand. This is a very conflicting message. So we are gonna get another message. We are going to get one more message because I really want, angels, please clarify this. Okay, so I'm gonna give the first message first, and the second message is for divine feminines whose divine masculine is still entrenched, maybe in an addiction or in these very low self-esteem patterns, because there are divine masculines out there that are still very much entrenched in either, like I said, an addiction or just extremely low self-esteem based on whatever. It could be their past relationships, growing up, whatever the case may be. Okay, so the first message that fell out is just being near you is intoxicating. Just being near you is intoxicating, which I actually love. I think that's amazing. For some divine masculines, not all, because not the ones who are already here, who are already 10 of water. I want to marry my divine feminine. I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to have that family. I'm trusting in God, using my God box, but I'm kind of still figuring out what this is, like what this soul connection is. What does this mean? So not for this group that's ready to take the plunge, not for this group, but there's another subset of divine masculines who are still kind of, like I said, caught up in these addictions. Even though they're ready to turn the page for a lot of them, some of them are just suffering from this extremely low self-esteem. So the first message that came out that kind of baffled me was, we both know I'm not the one for you, but here's what is at the core of it. What's at the core of it is, I will wait for a sign from you, and I remember every detail of that day, of whatever like special time you guys spent together, because I know that for many of you, you had maybe one special time with your twin flame, or two special times, or maybe like 6 weeks of special times with your twin flame, but then it was like separation, ghosting, running, whatever it was. So I feel that the we both know I'm not the one for you is just the self-pity card. I feel very strongly based on what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that that is more the self-pity card of, oh, I'm an alcoholic. I'm not the one for you. Why would you want me? Oh, I'm a drug addict. Why would you want me? Oh, I'm addicted to gaming or porn. Like, why would you want me? Okay, so it's more the subsect of twin flame divine masculines who have very low self-esteem based on something. And what they're saying, when they say, I will wait for a sign from you, it's because they're saying, I am not good enough. I need you to let me know that I'm good enough for you. And I remember every detail of that day. If This particular divine masculine is reminiscing about, oh my God, my divine feminine was so perfect, so amazing, so great. Like, we connected on so many levels. If they're still in that obsession mode about that, and if they're like, oh, no, I need to wait for my divine feminine to make the move in order to make me feel like I'm worthy or that I'm wanted, it's that they're still in that lower energy of not feeling worthy to have their divine feminine. So I would say, it's a little bit of a dancing, balancing act. And I would say if your divine masculine, if you feel in your heart of hearts, because your intuition will tell you this, divine feminines, if your intuition is telling you in your heart of hearts that your divine masculine is more in the camp of, oh, I'm not the one for you because I'm not good enough because A, B, C, D, E, or F, any of the reasons, then I would say get a personalized reading either with me or with somebody else to clarify your next steps. Because if your divine masculine is in this really low self-esteem mode and they're waiting for you to make the move, divine feminine, then I would say a personalized read, if that is your category of divine masculine right now, if you're really feeling that that's the way they're acting, that's the way they are, then I would say that getting a clarifier from your guardian angels and your twin flames guardian angels might help you, divine feminine, to understand the next steps, the next move. Because the divine masculines that are just like, oh my God, you're so intoxicating, and like, I want this family with you, and I want this marriage with you, and I want children with you, and I want this emotional connection with you. For those that are ready, they're not in that energy anymore. Maybe they were, but they're not in that energy anymore. So I feel like there's like kind of like a combination of DMs here. Like I said, the ones that are getting over this addiction, and also divine feminines, because some of you I know admitted to having like maybe an eating disorder, or maybe some of you are addicted to marijuana, or some of you drink too much. So, but I feel like there is this overcoming these difficulties, overcoming these obstacles that's coming this week. I feel like it's gonna break for a lot of you. And a lot of divine masculines, I feel like it's like a breakaway. It's a break free. It's a get out of jail card with those addictions. I really feel that. I feel like there's such this breakaway energy, like a break free energy. And I feel like part of that is trusting in your higher power, is trusting in God, trusting in spirit, trusting that God will lead the way so that you don't have to do it alone. I really feel that very strongly, because believe me, I've studied that topic so much. We're going to talk about that topic on Thursday, but I have not met an addict in recovery, in hardcore long-term recovery. I've not met an addict who has refuted a higher power. It's impossible. It's impossible to get over addiction if you refute a higher power. Even if you call that higher power like the room, the AA room or something like that, like the room of people in that group, there's always a higher power involved in long-term recovery. In any addiction, I'm not even talking about drugs and alcohol, I'm talking about everything, because addiction is something that takes away your sense of self-worth and self-esteem. And when you don't have that, how are you going to find it again? It's very difficult to find. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. This was an intense reading. I feel like there's a lot of intense energy of reunion here, for sure. I feel like about 50% of you out there will have reunion this spring, if not more. I'm being really conservative. I'm saying about 50% will have some sort of reunion with your twin flame this spring. There's very strong energy. There's very strong romance energy, even in this reading, but there's very strong romance energy in this spring. That's what I'm hearing, is just this spring, there's a lot of really, really, really strong romance energy. And if you're living in the Southern Hemisphere, then it's fall for you. But a very strong reunion energy. So I'll be really interested to follow your stories and to see what happens in the next 3 months. And we just started spring, of course. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames. And thank you so much for supporting my YouTube channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can join a boot camp. You can pledge your support on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. And I will see you in the next video.